Hi ladies, nice to see you. How are you? Nice seeing you. Thank you, Basia, for opening the house. We are approaching Parashat Vayechi, and this parasha is when Yaakov gives blessings to his children. You know, before somebody passes away, he blesses his children. So let me start with the story. There was this father, okay, that had 2 boys and 2 girls. And he loved his kids very much. He invested in them a lot. He played with them, bought for them all kind of gifts and all kind of stuff, and spent time with them. And kids loved the father, parents loved the children, everything was okay. Then sometime later, the mother passed away. She was sick, she passed away. And after a while, the father got sick. He had to be in his bed. When he was healthier, he used to have a jewelry store. And so, you know, he was very wealthy. He used to help out his kids, used to buy them all kind of gifts, all kind of stuff, to the grandchildren, sweets and toys and whatever. But now, he couldn't really leave the house. He couldn't really leave his bed even. He was in bed all the time. The kids were trying to help, you know, the father, take turns, this and that. But when they saw that his sickness stretches and for a long time he's in bed, slowly they stopped coming. You know why? Because the father couldn't go to work anymore. He had to sell his store. And he couldn't really continue showering them with all kind of gifts and all kind of, you know, sweets and toys and games that he used to buy to his grandchildren and, you know, help out financially to his children. So slowly the kids stopped coming. The father was alone. And it bothered him very much why the kids are not coming to visit him. So he was thinking, and then he called his children and he told them, "Dear children, you know, unfortunately I had to sell my store, but in exchange I have a suitcase full of gold and diamonds that I collected throughout the years, and I put it in the safe. Well, after Bezat Hashem 120, after I pass away, you know, I'll inherit it to you, don't worry." Kids hearing that started coming again to visit the father. Not only this, cooked for him and cleaned the house for him, took turns, sent the grandchildren. The father loved it so much. He spent time with his grandkids, with his kids. They really had a good time. He really loved them. They loved him back. And then after he passed away, so the kids were trying to respect as much as possible the deceased, the Shiva, and the people, and the rabbis, and the Kaddishim, and everything. And even bought him a nice tombstone, and respected as much as they could. And then later, when they went to the lawyer to check, you know, so what is the inheritance? What was the will of the father? They went to the bank. They wanted to see what type of suitcase and what type of jewelries and golds and diamonds he left there. They saw that there was just one parchment, a letter that he left to his children. He told them there, "Dear children, I know that you expected lots of money, lots of, you know, valuables. Well, unfortunately, I don't have it. Once I got sick, I sold out everything and I didn't have it. So I'm giving you a spiritual inheritance. Parents, no matter if they have money or they don't have money, they have to give to the children as much as love as they can. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. It doesn't matter how big is your house and what assets you have and what you don't have. You have to give as much as love to your kids as you can. And so the parents expect back from their children. after they raised them and give them so much, throughout the years, invested so much in them, made them the people who they are, taught them profession and whatever. So they expect back love from the children, and it doesn't matter how much money they raise or they have in their bank or not. So I ask you, and I beg you, and I plead to you, love each other, give love to your children, and teach your children what does it mean to love. This is a story. Unfortunately, so many people go through this when we talk about people who are becoming, older, and they give inheritance to their children. Here we speak about Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu, not like Abraham, not like Yitzchak, had 12 children. And he wants them, there was a problem. There was a problem when the brothers hated Yosef and they sold him to Egypt. There was some kind of jealousy. There was some kind of hatred over there, right? How can he overcome? How can he make sure that the brothers will continue being in peace with one another? This is the challenge that Yaakov is going through now, and he wants to do the best so that his kids are going to stay united. They are not going to continue fighting whenever he's not around. So what does he tell him? He tell them, He'asfu, hikabzu, get together. I want to talk to you. What does it mean, get together? I want you to be united. Because the most important thing, that the father have nachat, from the kids are when they're together, when they love each other, when they care for one another. Okay? So he tells them, hikabzu. Yaakov Avinu is going to, the Jewish nation was about to be sent to exile for many, many years. What's going to keep the Jewish nation, alive? What's going to keep them together? He didn't want them to disintegrate. He didn't want them to fall apart. He gives them a tip. What is this tip? If you're going to stay together, you have a chance. You have a chance to survive this exile, this so many years, without, guidance, without him himself. But, and this is what he's talking about. So we're talking here about blessings. I want to tell you a story about how blessing is so important, and we're going to start talking about Yaakov blessing his children. Tomorrow, girls, tomorrow is Asara B'Tevet, the 10th of Tevet. I'm going to soon explain you what is this fast day. In our Bukhari tradition, tomorrow is a fast day. In our tradition, in Samarkand, we had a rabbi by the name Rav Chizkiah Kaikov, Zecher Tzadik Levracha. He was the rabbi of my parents when they, used to live in Samarkand. He was the rabbi of all the Jewish community in Samarkand. Because he was teaching Torah, he was sent to Siberia, because it wasn't allowed back in Russia. The communism didn't allow to teach Torah. He was sent to Siberia, and suffered very, very much. I want to tell you what a blessing. They wrote a book about him. I opened the book, and I see a story that my mother, they asked her, they interviewed her, she wrote the story about herself, in that book, and it was so interesting that I saw, because his yortzeit is tomorrow. So, she wrote over there that when she was young, her mother used to send her constantly to the rabbi's house to get blessings. They looked at him, they admired him, but whether she sent they had some fresh eggs that they just had. The chicken just had eggs. She used to take it to the rabbi to get blessing. She used to come and help them in the house, clean the house, do this, do that. And then they moved to, after she got married, they moved to Tashkent. So the story starts like this. My mom, she found to know that she got pregnant, second child, she got pregnant, but from beginning of pregnancy, she get these sharp pains, and it's so painful, and she doesn't know what it is. So she goes to the doctor checks her, and find to know that it's a pregnancy outside the womb. Yeah, exactly. So he told her, listen, it's too early, I cannot really tell you now, go home, maybe things are going to get better, I don't know how things are going to get better, but go home meanwhile until we decide what to do, if to operate you or what. She goes home, she had a little baby. The baby was crying, she tries to get up to take care of the baby, this sharp pain that, she cannot get up from bed. And she was supposed to go every morning. She used to give a shot to her neighbor. Her neighbor was diabetic, and my mother, she was a nurse. She was a midwife. She used to go every morning to do a chesed to that neighbor and give her a shot for her sugar, insulin. And that morning she was supposed to go, and she cannot get up from bed. She feels dizzy. She feels she wants to vomit. She doesn't feel well, and she feels that she's almost losing her conscience. So, and she's saying to herself, how can I help my baby now? How can I go to the neighbor? What should I do? What should I do? And she feels that she kind of passes out. At that moment, Hashem sent an angel. The neighbor's daughter herself, she knocks at the door. She's looking for my mom. No, Hamsaya, please come. My mom, she needs her injection. She cannot continue her day without this. So my mother, seeing her, she tells her, help, or just call help. Quickly, they called the ambulance. They took her to the hospital. Over there, they did operate her, emergency operation right away. Baruch Hashem, they were able to stable her, and she was okay. As she left the hospital, the doctor told her, you're not going to be able to have children anymore.
After having the first one?
After having the first one, after this operation, you won't be able to have more children.
To your mom?
Yeah. She was devastated. She was so upset, and you can understand. She was sad. She didn't know what to do. So my father told her, go a little bit to your mom, to Samarkand, and rest over there, recover yourself, feel better, and then come back. She goes there, and she lays down, she rests over there. One day her mom knocks on the room, and she tells her, we have a very, very important somebody that came to visit you. So my mom leaves the room, Arav Chizkiah Kaiko, he was already older. He was after I came back from Siberia, he was very weak and tired also. I hardly walked. I had problems with his breathing and everything. But as old as he was, he came to visit her. And she tells him, Rabbi, they said that I won't be able to have children anymore. And she tells him, don't worry. He blesses her. You're going to have children, and you're going to live a long life, and everything will be okay. Don't worry. And he blessed her and blessed her and blessed her. My mother felt so good, getting these blessings from the rabbi. And Baruch Hashem, Bemet, all these blessings came true. She was able to get pregnant afterwards, okay, and have more children, Baruch Hashem.
Is it after you?
Huh?
You're the oldest?
No, I'm not the oldest.
You're the youngest?
I'm the third one.
Oh, wow.
So, this is blessings of rabbis. When rabbi is blessing, okay, what does it mean, blessing? When Yaakov Avinu was blessing, what did he do? Did he tell them something that they didn't know about, or he directed them according to their qualities? We know that Yaakov Avinu directed his children according to their qualities. You see, there are 12 tribes, 12 kids, And everyone over there pulls to a different direction. Yehuda thinks this way. Yosef thinks this way. We have Shimon and Levi. We have Reuven, we have the firstborn. We have this, we have that. And everyone pulls to a different direction. How can he make sure that they stay together, that they stay united? Because the Jewish nation, what is this? Jewish nation is only when we are together. We are mourning the destruction of the temple tomorrow, the 10th of Tevet, was the beginning of the siege that King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem, okay, didn't let people go in and out. And this is how he started. Why? Because we sinned. We had the problems of, didn't respecting one another, didn't like one another. This is the problem. That's always the problem. If we don't have unity, if we don't live with one another, if we don't respect each other, Hashem is upset at us. So, Yaakov Avinu is trying to work out on this unity. What does he do? Reuven is the oldest. We know Reuven, even though he was biologically the oldest, okay, Yaakov Avinu rejected him from being firstborn.
Who was the first?
Reuven. Why he rejected him? He called him, you have this quality that's called pachaz kamayim. You're too fast. You react too fast. You don't have patience. Wait a second. When Rachel Amenu passed away, Rachel Amenu was the more favored wife of Yaakov. Okay, he got married. He went to Haran just because of Rachel, and he liked her the most. And so when she passed away, Reuven was bothered why Yaakov spends time with her maid, not with his mother, which was, more important than the maid. So he took his bed and he put it in his mother's tent. Yaakov had his own calculations. Why do you interfere in my calculations? Why do you care? Where is my bed? So because he was fast, he was not really thinking what he was doing, he told him, you cannot really be firstborn. Shimon and Levi, second and third. Also, you cannot be, firstborn. Why? Because you killed. You're fast. You get angry very fast. When Shechem, okay, Ben Hamor, when he abducted Dinah, their sister, they went and they killed the whole village. They didn't care. He said, if you want to be a king, if you want to be important, you cannot act so fast. You cannot be so angry. It's not good for a king to be such, impulsive. And then comes Yehuda. To Yehuda, he tells him, Yehuda, ata yoducha achecha. Yes, you made a mistake too, but you overcame this mistake. I'll talk to you soon about Yehuda. Basically, he compares him to a lion. He promises him kingship. He tells him, King David is going to come of you. Mashiach is going to come of you. But I'm going to talk to you about Yehuda soon. Then we have Zvulun. Zvulun cannot be a king because he's too much into business. He's trading, he's supporting Issachar, which is beautiful. Issachar, he was learning Torah, Zvulun was supporting him, but you're not fit for a king. Dan, from Dan is going to come Shimshon. Shimshon was a judge. Shimshon was a strong man, and he saved the Jewish nation from the Plishtim. But this is what he blessed Dan. God will be the first one that will go to the wars of Israel. He's going to come and help, but they cannot really be kings or something. Asher, he blessed him that he's going to have a lot of olives. Olives in Israel are very, very good. Oil and olives. You're going to be rich. You're going to be good. Naphtali is also going to get a land in Israel that the fruits get ripened the first over there, meaning, also very good. To Yosef, he gave a lot of blessings. So we're going to speak about Yosef soon. And Binyamin, he tells him, from you, are going to come Mordechai and Esther and Shaul, the first kings, but but let's focus on Yehuda and Yosef. Yaakov chose two different leaders for Am Yisrael. One is Mashiach ben Yosef, the one that comes from Yosef. One is Mashiach ben David, the one that's going to come from Yehuda. Mashiach ben Yosef, or Yosef, Yosef was a king at that time. He is dealing with materialism. Okay, so we need crops, we need wheat, we need financially aids, we need this, we need that, and he's very organized and he knows how to do this. He's taking care of the materialism. By Yehuda in the future, he's going to take care of the spiritualism of Am Yisrael. King David and all the kings afterwards, right? They're going to take care of the spiritual part of Am Yisrael. So Yehuda already proved the fact that he was a leader. Okay, when he represented the tribes next to Yosef the king, where he went next to Paro, okay, and Yosef also, in a way, he proved the fact that he's able to take care of organizing stuff. So Yaakov directs them according to their qualities. Yosef, you are going to be a king, but temporary. But Yehuda is going to be a king eternal, forever, later on. Okay? And he sees he does it according to their qualities. Rabbanit explains that Yaakov called to his sons to talk to them because he wanted to choose who is going to be the leader. If Yaakov is not going to direct his sons, they're going to fight. They're going to continue fighting. I'm more important, you're more important. And Yaakov sees what's important. You see, as a parent, you have to take care. Every child is different. Every child has different qualities. And you cannot treat all the kids the same way because they have different needs. And Yaakov sees that. He sees that his kids are different and they have different needs, and he directs them according to their special qualities. For example, he disqualified Reuven from being the firstborn. Why? Because he sees he's too fast. He reacts too fast. A king cannot react too fast to all kind of circumstances happen, all kind of situation happen. This king said this thing, and that president said that thing. So everyone that says something, you have to react right away. You have to respond right away. And so he saw that Reuven would not fit to be a king. Shimon and Levi tells them, you took the same art in a way of my brother, of Esau, and I would not like, and the king, okay, they cannot be. They cannot have this type of qualities. People who kill, people who don't even think, are fast to get angry. Okay, and this is how it goes through all the brothers. Naphtali, Dan, you're fine, but you cannot really do this. It's not for you. Whoever is left is Yosef and Yehuda. Yosef, even though he was working very much on his qualities, even though he provided to his brothers, to his father, in Mitzrayim, but he won't be able to rule, to be the king in Israel. Why? Because he was controversial. The brothers didn't like him, and if a king is controversial, it's not a good thing. The king needs to be chosen by the whole nation, or at least by most of the nation. And Yehuda, only Yehuda was chosen by all his brothers, and therefore only Yehuda could be the king.
King of what?
King of Am Israel, of the Jewish nation. When he blesses Yehuda, he tells him, because you are king, he mentions here the word wine and milk. He says wine, the color of wine is red, okay? And red represents midat hagvura, which is the strength. You have to be strong. But from other side, okay, you have also milk, which is white. White represents midat chesed. Be kind to people. You have to be tough, yeah, but you cannot really be tough on all the weak people, okay? You have to be tough, but from the other side, you have to be kind too. You have to seek to see what your nation need to help out, not to be arrogant, not to boast around, okay? This is what he blesses Yehuda. What does he bless Yosef? He tells him, Ben Porat Yosef. מה זה Ben Porat Yosef? Porat is the same letters of Patar. Yosef was Poter, was solving. He told Paro what he was dreaming about, and he was doing it in a very, very special way that Paro himself was shocked. In Sefer Tehillim, King David, when he writes Perak Pei Aleph 81, when he writes about Yosef, he adds Hey to his name. He tells him Edut Be Yehosef. Yehosef is like, adding the name of Hashem. Why did he add the name, the letter Hey over there? So the rabbi says there that when Paro was dreaming, he was dreaming that he was standing on the Nile, okay, and he saw the cows and all this, the 7 cows, the healthy cows, the sick cows, whatever. He really saw in his dream that he was standing on top of the Nile. Now the Nile was their idol. The Egyptian biggest idol is the Nile. Why? Because they don't have rain. And they don't have rain, so they depend so much on the Nile. The Nile gives them all their water. So for them, Nile was everything. And Paro says that he was standing on the Nile, meaning you're more important than the Nile. Cannot be. It would be against their religion. So when Yosef is interpreting the dream of Paro, he tells him you were standing in the shore next to the Nile, and when Paro saw the wisdom of Yosef, how he interpreted it next to his advisors, he says Ruach Elokim bo, there's Hashem in him. He is special. He knows what is he doing. So Yaakov blesses Yosef Ben Porat Yosef.
What does it mean?
What does it mean, Ben Porat Yosef? Ben Porat ale Ain. Right. Ain Hara should not. He's protected from Ain Hara. Why Yosef was protected from Ain Hara? Ben Porat. Ben Porat. Why Yosef was protected from Ain Hara?
Why Yosef was protected?
It says that from a young age. From young age, when Yaakov saw a certain quality in Yosef, he blessed him in here. When Yaakov years ago went to meet his brother Esau, right? He was so scared of him. He wanted to make peace with him. He didn't want him to kill all his wife and all his children. So they stand all the people, all his family, and he gives them so much gifts and so much sheep and cattle and stuff. He gives them a lot of gifts. So he lined up all his children. So Esau is going to come and see all of them. Yosef, when he saw that Esau might look at his mother was a beautiful woman, and maybe might lay his eyes on her, he came and he stood in front of his mother. He didn't want Esau to look at her, and he says that he made himself big and he really increased in his size so that Esau won't see her. Yosef said, Yaakov saw it, and Yosef was a little boy at that time. He said, you were caring so much about your mother, you didn't want this wicked person, this Esau, to look at your mother. So I'm going to bless you that you will, the Ain Hara, the evil eye, okay, will not affect you. Not only this, because Yosef, all these years that he was in Egypt, he was protecting his eyes. He was not looking at all these women. All these women were trying to get attention. The Egyptian women were trying to get attention from Yosef. Please look at us, look at us, look at us. Potiphar, the wife of Potiphar, and all the others. And he didn't care about them. He controlled his eyes. He controlled his sight. Because he controlled his eyes, Yaakov Avinu blessed him that Ain Hara won't hurt him at all. So again, Yaakov Avinu is blessing his children according to their qualities. Okay? So here we see that Yaakov is declaring who is going to be who is going to be the king now, who is going to be. So now Yosef is still the king, but later on, in the time of King David, the kingship is going to go to Yehuda, and is going to stay with Yehuda forever. Bezrat Hashem. This is how Yaakov was able to prevent all kind of arguments, all kind of fights, okay, between the brothers, because he already decided who is going to do what in the Jewish nation. And then it comes to Menashe and Ephraim. I want to ask you a question. Every Friday night, we bless our children, right? What do we say? ישמחה אלוקים.
בחת כהנים, לא? מה זה? בחת כהנים?
ישמחה אלוקים כאפרים וכמנשה, we say to the boys. What do we say to the girls? ישמח אלוקים כשרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה. By the girls, we say, we bless you that you're going to be holy and special and spiritual like the mothers, the holy mothers. Sarah, Rivka. Why don't we bless the boys to be like Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? Why Menashe and Ephraim? Why not like Yehuda and Yosef? Why not like other people? מי זה מנשה ואפרים? Menashe and Ephraim are Yosef's children, are Yaakov's grandkids. Why do we bless our children every Shabbat that they should be like Menashe and Ephraim? And this is what Yaakov blessed them. Why? In Midrash Shir HaShirim, okay, it says over there, Mid necha ke'ach li. Give me some examples of all the first book that we read, Sefer Bereshit, Genesis. Couples of brothers, did they get along? Who is the first couple of brothers that we know in the Bible?
Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel. Did they get along?
No.
No. Cain killed Hevel. Then we have Yitzchak and Ishmael. Did they get along? No. This didn't like this didn't like that. And then who do we have? Yitzchak and, Yaakov and Esau. Did they get along? No. Esau wanted to kill him. Why did he take my Bechorah?
I know the answer.
Huh?
I think I know the answer.
Okay.
Because they were united.
Beautiful.
They were always together.
Beautiful.
Ephraim and Menashe.
Beautiful. So Yosef and his brothers didn't get along. Yitzchak and Ishmael didn't get along. And Esau and Yaakov didn't get along. All the brothers in Sefer Bereshit don't get along. Where do we see people who do get along? Some other couple of brothers that you know that did get along? What about, huh?
No.
I don't know.
Beautiful. Moshe and Aaron.
Oh my
Very
goodness.
nice. Moshe and Aaron. They did get along, right? Why don't we say Yismcha Elohim ke Moshe ve'Aaron?
What is it?
Why don't we say Yismcha Elohim ke Moshe ve'Aaron?
Because they're not Yosef's kids?
No. So there was something special there about Menashe and Ephraim. We know that also Yosef and Binyamin got along very nice. They liked each other very much. But what was the problem with Yosef and Binyamin and Moshe ve'Aaron? Yosef and Binyamin, Moshe ve'Aaron,
Oh, they were separated for many years.
good. They were separated. They didn't live with each other. Moshe was raised in Paro's palace. And when he was a teenager, he saw a problem. He he wanted to kill someone, and then he ran away, and for 80 years, or no, less, he didn't really see his brother at all. He was living in Midian somewhere. He was not in Egypt together with the Jewish nation. Yosef and Binyamin also. Yosef didn't know Binyamin. They didn't see each other. They were not raised together as brothers. So okay, there is some kind of brotherhood. They like each other from the fact that they know that they miss each other, but they didn't live with each other. Menashe and Ephraim is the first couple that live with each other and like each other very much. How does Yaakov see that Menashe and Ephraim, they like each other very much and they don't fight? When Yosef, he comes and he introduces his children to his father, okay? He says to him, this is my kids. And Yaakov did a very strange act. Instead of blessing them, he crossed his hands. He put his right hand on Ephraim, his left hand on Menashe. Ephraim was the youngest. Menashe was the oldest. Hello? Yosef sees that and he screams, Father, please don't do to my children what you did to me. Because you favored me, because you liked me so much, all my brothers hated me. They got jealous. Don't do this. I don't want Menashe and Ephraim to fight. But Yaakov sees that Menashe
Doesn't care.
doesn't care. That's not he doesn't care.
No,
He's
not
fine.
important for him.
Yeah, he's fine with this. He's fine. He respects his brother the same way. So he tells his son, Yadati bini, Yadati. Don't worry. I do it for a reason. He had his reasons, and we'll talk about this. He sees that Menashe respects his younger brother. He tells him, I know that Menashe and Ephraim won't have this problem. You know why? Because I saw you, Yosef. All your life, you were bothered by the fact that your brothers hated you. Your brothers were jealous about you. They sold you to the Egyptians. You were all alone in Egypt. And you, as you know, you built your own family. You made sure that your kids, they would like each other. They would love each other. They would respect each other. They won't have the same problems of Yosef and his brothers. Because you were so sensitive to this issue, your kids were raised in this way also, and they